The Houston Astros have gone out and acquired Justin Verlander from the New York Mets this trade deadline, making it the second biggest move to happen in New York in the past 2-3 days. Now, I'd say the first move would have to have gone to Max Scherzer, as Max Scherzer has been traded from the Mets to the Rangers in a video that I covered right here. But besides that, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Verlander reuniting with the Astros with the hopes of the duo winning their third ring together. Now, before joining the Mets this offseason, Justin Verlander had spent the last 5 or so years of his career with the Houston Astros, where he won 2 Cy Youngs, 2 World Series, and was an All-Star 3 times. Arguably, some of his best seasons would have had to have been with the Houston Astros. So the fact that he's back is fantastic for both sides. You've heard the news. As soon as he got back, Houston was celebrating. The teammates were happy to have a leader in the locker room again. Not that there weren't any, but Justin Verlander was a big part of that locker room. Now, the reason he left the Astros in the first place is because Mets owner Steve Cohen went out in free agency and spent $80 million plus on Justin Verlander in a 2-year deal. And obviously, the Astros weren't able to match those astronomical numbers, especially for a pitcher who was, in his age 40 season. The dude was pretty old, and let's be real, $80 million even for Verlander is a lot, and the Mets are regretting it because halfway through their first season with him, the Mets are 5 games below 500 and decided that it's going to be a rebuilding year rather than a postseason run. Now, this has left the Mets in a free-for-all as they've gotten rid of all of their big acquisitions. Max Scherzer's gone, Mark Canha is gone. He was also given a very big contract a year or 2 ago. And now the Mets are looking to rebuild slightly. 2024 will be a transitioning year for the New York Mets, as stated by, I want to say Verlander said that? Yeah, so 2024 is going to be a transition year. 2023, they're looking to, just finish out the year, while they don't look to contend again until 2025, 2026. But we're not here to talk about the Mets. We're here to talk about Houston and Justin Verlander. Now, Justin Verlander has been playing for the Mets in 16 games this season. He has 6 wins, 5 losses, and about a 3.15 ERA. Has only given up 9 home runs. So, he hasn't played a lot of games, but he's been playing pretty well. I mean, a 3.15 ERA is very solid, even above average. Now, is it as good as his ERA last season when he did win the Cy Young? No, definitely not. But Justin Verlander was dealing with injuries at the beginning of this year, which slowed down the ability for him to join the team and was probably what cost the Mets so many losses early on. Now, of course, the winning didn't just magically come when Justin Verlander showed up when he was playing with the Mets, but things were getting slightly better. They had one of the best records in June, and Steve Cohen didn't see it that way. So, it is what it is. Now he will be joining the Houston Astros, who look to win another AOS title, but this time it's not going to be so easy, considering the fact that the Texas Rangers are actually leading the division by 1 game currently, and they have just gone out on their own and acquired their own ace in Max Scherzer. So, both teams were already stacked and have gone out and matched each other for trades. You know what I'm saying? Verlander to the Astros, Scherzer to the Rangers. The AL West is going to be an exciting one to watch because, unfortunately for the loser, they're going to be stuck in the wild card game, and it's looking like they're going to have to play a few extra games, which is tough. Now, the Astros aren't just out here acquiring Justin Verlander for pennies on a dime here. They will be having to give up a few of their really good prospects in order to acquire Verlander, with the best prospect obviously being outfielder Drew Gilbert. He is ranked as Houston Astros' best prospect, and they're also giving up another minor league outfielder in Ryan Clifford. Now, that might not sound like a lot because it's only 2 guys, but the Mets will be eating up most of the contract for Verlander. Yeah, they're going to be stuck with that contract for quite a while, because Houston, they want their guy back, but they don't want to have to pay him. That was kind of the whole reason of him leaving in free agency, because they didn't want to pay him all that money. So the Mets are going to be stuck eating that contract, but do get Drew Gilbert, so it is a solid return, especially since they're now looking to rebuild according to Justin Verlander. So things are heading in the not so good direction for the Mets. Unfortunately, they have to blow it up. Hell, they've been so bad. I've been able to pump out 2 videos surrounding the Mets, I guess 3 at this point, just because of how much they've struggled and disappointed. I mean, they did have the biggest payroll in all of baseball, and were a mediocre team. But the same cannot be said for the Houston Astros, who are killing it like I've previously mentioned. Now, Justin Verlander, when he last played in the Astros uniform, not only did he win the Cy Young, but they won a championship. They won 2 championships when he was there. Let's see, back in 2022, not too long ago, he had a 1.75 ERA with the Astros, along with 28 appearances, which is almost double what he's been able to do this season. And I want to say his wins and losses were looking really good. I mean, he had 18 wins and only 4 losses, and this season with the Mets, he already got 5. But now that he has a better team surrounding him, maybe the wins will come easier. Not saying that the Mets didn't have a good team, but they did have an underperforming team, let's be real. Yeah, those guys underperformed. I mean, you can see clips over and over of Francisco Lindor or outfielders just missing the ball, just making several really easy errors that shouldn't be happening at a major league level. Now, I want to say, let's look at what the Astros owner had to say about all of this, about this new deal in acquiring Justin Verlander. The owner came out and told the Associated Press that after we looked at the numbers, it's always tough to give up prospects, but I think they determined that it was the right move. We need starting pitching. He's been throwing well, and I think the other factor is they ate a lot of the contract, so it wasn't a really hard decision. It just we would have given up more prospects was all. Now, the Mets have woefully underperformed this season, as I've mentioned several times, and the Astros are looking to make that playoff push, that much-needed playoff push. I mean, they're always contenders and have been for the last 8 years. I almost don't remember a time when the Astros were bad. Now, when I first started watching baseball, obviously, in the early 2010s, the Astros weren't the brightest out of the whole group, and their jerseys were kind of ugly too, which didn't help. But the Astros have been able to turn it around as of recently. Like I said, they've won 4 World Series in the last 6 years. They've been to 4 World Series in the last 6 years, and they've won 2 of them. So they're doing their thing. Now, Jim Crane, the owner of the Astros, also said that Justin and I always get along. We've had direct contact with each other on a number of things. Certainly not this one, but I know him well, and every time he was here, we did what we said we were going to do. So I think I had some trust in him coming back, and he's had great success, so I think that certainly helped. Now, like I said, the Astros are trying to make that push, and what better guy to add along than a guy that you already know works in the locker room, already has great chemistry with the other guys. Now, a few other teams in competition for getting Verlander were the Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, and the San Diego Padres, but the Houston Astros were able to beat them out, with the help of Drew Gilbert. It was a really good prospect to put in there. Good job, Jim Crane. But yeah, Verlander becomes the 4th high-profile Mets player to move in recent days, including Scherzer, including Canna, and David Robertson. So there is that. But yeah, that's about it for the video. That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to cover the trade really quick was all. Catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces. Ciao.